Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Everybody please say. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Vishnupada, Paramahamsa Parivrajakacharya Sthotrahita Shri Srimad Bhakti Vedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai, Grandharaj Srimad Bhagavatam Ki Jai. శ్లోక డిస్ప్లే చేస్తారు అక్కడ. ఓం నమో భగవతే వాసుదేవాయ. ఓం నమో భగవతే వాసుదేవాయ. ఓం నమో భగవతే వాసుదేవాయ. So reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 3, Chapter 25, Text 1. 3:24, 1. Three 25 1. 25. Hare Krishna. Okay. So we'll read the shloka. Shaunaka uvacha. Kapilah tattva sankyata Bhagavan atmamayaya jatah swayam ajah sakshat atmaprajnaptaye Pranam Saunaka uvacha.
Sanka uvacha.
Kapilastattva-sankhyaata.
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 Bhagavan Atmamayaya.
Bhagavan Atmamayaya.
Bhagavan Atmamayaya.
Bhagavan Atmamayaya.
Jatah swayam ajah sakshat.
Jata swayam ajah sakshat.
Jatah swayam ajah sakshat.
Jata swayam ajah sakshat.
Atma prajnaptaye nrunam.
Atma prajnaptaye nrunam.
Atma prajnaptaye nrunam.
Atma prajnaptaye nrunam.
Saunaka uvacha.
Sanka uvacha.
Kapilastattva-sankhyaata.
Kapilastattva-sankhyaata.
Bhagavan Atmamayaya.
Bhagavan Atmamayaya.
Jatah swayam ajah sakshat.
Jata swayam ajah sakshat.
Atma prajnaptaye nrunam.
Atma prajnaptaye nrunam. Kapilastattva-sankhyaata.
Saunaka uvacha.
Sanka uvacha. Kapilastattva-sankhyaata.
Kapilastattva-sankhyaata.
Bhagavan Atmamayaya.
Bhagavan Atmamayaya.
Swayam ajat sakshat.
Jatah swayam ajah sakshat.
Atma prajnaptaye nrunam.
Atma prajnaptaye nrunam.
Saunaka uvacha.
Saunaka uvacha.
Kapilastattva-sankhyaata.
Kapilastattva-sankhyaata.
Bhagavan Atmamayaya.
Bhagavan Atmamayaya.
Jata swayam ajat sakshat.
Jatah swayam ajah sakshat.
Atma prajnaptaye nrunam.
Atma prajnaptaye nrunam.
Saunaka uvacha.
Saunaka uvacha.
Kapilastattva-sankhyaata.
Kapilastattva-sankhyaata.
Bhagavan Atmamayaya.
Bhagavan Atmamayaya.
Jata swayam ajat sakshat.
Jatah swayam ajah sakshat. Atma prajnaptaye nrunam. Yes. Mataji? Okay. So what the word meaning? Saunaka uvacha. Shri Saunaka said, Kapilaha, Lord Kapila, Tattva, of the truth, Sankyata, the expounder, Bhagavan, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Atma, Mayaya, by his internal potency, Jataha, took birth, Swayam, himself, Ajah, unborn, Sakshat, in person, Atma Prajnaptaye, to disseminate transcendental knowledge, Pranam, for the human race. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace Srila Yeshua Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada, Amunracharya, small. Translation. Sri Saunaka said, although he is unborn, the Supreme Personality of Godhead took birth as Kapila Muni by his internal potency. He descended to disseminate transcendental knowledge for the benefit of the whole human race. Purport. The word Atma Prajnaptaye indicates that the Lord descends for the benefit of the human race to give transcendental knowledge. Material necessities are quite sufficiently provided for in the Vedic knowledge, which offers a program for good living conditions and gradual elevation to the platform of goodness. In the mode of goodness, one's knowledge expands. On the platform of passion, there is no knowledge, for passion is simply an impetus to enjoy material benefits. On the platform of ignorance, there is no knowledge and no enjoyment, but simply life almost like that of animals. The Vedas are meant to elevate one from the mode of ignorance to the platform of goodness. When one is situated in the mode of goodness, he is able to understand knowledge of the self or transcendental knowledge. This knowledge cannot be appreciated by any ordinary man. Therefore, since a disciplic section is required, this knowledge is expounded either by the Supreme Personality of Godhead himself or by his bona fide devotee. Saunaka Muni also states here that Kapila, the incarnation of Supreme Personality of Godhead, took birth or appeared simply to appreciate and disseminate transcendental knowledge. Simply to understand that one is not matter but spirit soul, Aham Brahmasmi, I am by nature Brahman, is not sufficient knowledge for understanding the self and his activities. One must be situated in the activities of Brahman. Knowledge of those activities is explained by the Supreme Personality of Godhead himself. Such transcendental knowledge can be appreciated in human society but not in animal society, as clearly indicated here by the word pranam for the human beings. Human beings are meant for regulated life. By nature, there is regulation in animal life also, but that is not like the regulative life as described in the scriptures or by the authorities. Human life is regulated life, not animal life. In regulated life only one can understand transcendental knowledge. Majnanatmirandasya jnananjanashalakaya chakshurunmilitam yena tasmai shri gurave namaha namaha om Vishnupadaya Krishna Prestaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vidas Swami Namaha om Vishnupadaya Krishna Prestaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Namaste Saraswate Devi Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Sunyavadi Paschatya Deshakarine Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaura Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. So thank you all of you for attending this spiritual discussion, which is very rare in modern society. Because, as you know, modern society is very busy, in eating, sleeping, mating, and defending. Modern society, materially it is very developed, but spiritually, there is so much to learn. As it is explained in this sloka, Saunaka Vacha, he said here. Saunaka Vacha. Saunaka is speaking here. So if you see in this world, we find two things. One is dull matter and one is consciousness. You understand, right? What is dull matter? Dull matter means this is dull matter, right? And we also see consciousness. Consciousness is a symptom of life. Where there is life, there is consciousness, right? So we are a combination of both dull matter and consciousness, because our body is made up of both gross and subtle elements, and we ourselves, we are not this body, but we are spirit soul. So we are spirit soul, but now we are covered by these gross and subtle material elements. So the body which is visible to our charma chakshu, this is called as charma chakshu, means the material eyes. This is made up of 5 gross elements. What are the 5 gross elements? Yeah, earth, water, fire, air, and ether. So there is a sequence. When we speak about 5 elements, we have to tell in a sequence, because these 5 elements are arranged in such a way that the grossest one comes earlier, right? So earth is the grossest element. Why? Because we have 5 knowledge acquiring senses. What are the 5 knowledge acquiring senses? Eyes, nose, ears, tongue, and skin. So earth can be known through these 5 senses, knowledge acquiring senses. For example, we can see earth, right? And punyo gandah prudhivyam cha, Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita that I am the original fragrance of earth, he says. So earth has fragrance. No, you may not recognize it now, but at least if you go to the countryside, No? When there is rainfall, especially, you can experience this very wonderful smell. So Krishna says, I am the fragrance of earth, he says. The original fragrance, he says. From which fragrance all the other fragrances evolve. Okay? So earth, we can see it, we can smell it, and we can taste it, and we can touch it, and we can also hear it. So this is the grossest element. Next comes water. So water we can see. Can we smell water? No. But we can taste water. Krishna says, Rasoham apsu kaunteya. Right? Rasoham. Rasa. Rasa means taste. Krishna says, I am the taste in water. So when we drink water, we feel satiated, right? We feel some, what to say, some trupti. We feel some trupti, satisfaction. Why? Because Krishna says, I am the taste in water. Okay? When you add something to water, then it enhances the taste. Right? So water, we can hear water when there is a water percolates, no? You can hear the sound. Right? So we can touch water, we can hear water, we can taste water, we cannot smell it, but we can see. So water can be recognized through 4 knowledge acquiring senses. So it takes the second place. And third one is fire, because we can see fire, but we cannot smell fire, and we cannot taste fire, but we can hear fire, and we can touch fire. So this takes the third place in the gross elements. So because it is recognized by 3 knowledge acquiring senses. And the fourth one is air. Air we cannot see, we cannot smell it, we cannot taste it, we can hear it, and we can feel the sensation, right? Air is very, very important. It's very important that it is called in Shastras as Mukhya Prana. Okay, and the Vayu, the personality Vayu, because whatever we see, whatever material elements we see in this world, there is a personality behind it, one who controls that. So Vayu is known as Mukhya Prana because Vayu is considered as the most important living entity in this material creation actually. Mukhya Prana is. So Vayu can be recognized by 2 senses, that's why it takes the 4th place. No? And 5th one is ether. No? How can we recognize it? Ether, sky. Sky, we can see it, that's all. There are no other ways, right? So this is the 5th gross element. And there are 3 subtle elements. They are like mind, intelligence, and false ego. We know that we have mind, right? So, and many of them, they think they are their mind. Those who don't have this spiritual knowledge, they recognize themselves with their mind, because mostly we are on the mental platform actually, right? Because we are so much controlled by mind that we feel we are mind, but we are not mind. But we can sense that mind is mostly present, right? We are mindful always. And the second place will be given to intelligence. We are not always intelligent. I mean, intelligence acts in between, right? Especially when we have to take some decisions, we use our intelligence. So intelligence is not so much present as mind. Mind is always present because through mind only we experience happiness and sorrow. Sorry. Because the 3 main activities of mind, what are the 3 activities of mind? Thinking, we think with our mind, right? When we feel with our mind, and we will with our mind, willing to do something, deciding to do something. Okay, so mind does these 3 things which are very important, and intelligence will come in between. Sometimes when we have to, use our differentiating power actually, then intelligence come into place. And the most subtlest thing is false ego. False ego means me. Like ego is always there. Ego cannot be erased actually. Ego is our identification actually. No, I am a person. Can we deny that we are a person? Can we deny that we are a person? We are a person. So, but we call it as false ego. Why false ego we call it? Because we know that we are a person, but we don't know what we are, what kind of a person we are, and what we are made up with, and to whom we belong to. Okay, so ego is there, but ego doesn't come up always. So like this, these are all material elements. 5 are gross and 3 are subtle material elements. Many of them may get surprised. Oh, mind is also a material element, but we cannot see it. Yes, but it is a material element. No, we don't see many things, but we know that they are material elements. For example, we don't see X-rays, we don't see infrared rays, right? We don't see this telecommunication waves and all. We don't see Bluetooth rays. All those things we don't see, but we know that they are material. So mind, intelligence, and false ego, these are the subtle elements. Okay. Now we means the spirit soul is covered with two kinds of dresses actually. Like as we have our outer wear and inner wear, right? Inner wear is not seen. Huh? But nowadays it became a fashion to expose the inner wear also. No need to tell you that because you are in a big city like Hyderabad, right? So, but so we are covered with these two layers: gross body and subtle body. But we are not this subtle body, or we are not this gross body, but we are spirit soul. Okay, so we are a combination of. I mean, when you say he is a person, that means he is a combination of both material and spiritual elements, right? So the Shastra says there are 84 lakh species of living entities. Still, scientists they are counting. No? Any biology students here? Any of you are from zoology or biology background? Huh? So, anyway, is there any estimation regarding how many types of species are there? Okay, anyway. But from Shastra we get this information, especially from Padma Purana. I hope you all heard about Purana, right? Purana. Purana means history. Okay, or Purana means which which makes something complete. Now Purana means which makes the Vedic education complete is called as Purana. Purana means which makes the Vedic education complete, and also Purana means very untraceable history. You can say there are two kinds of histories. One is Itihasa, and the other is Purana. Itihasa means traceable history. Now you can calculate, no, how long that incident has happened. So what are the Itihasas? Itihasa, Mahabharata and Ramayana, they are called as Itihasas because we can trace their time period actually. But Puranas we cannot trace because Puranas we don't know on which planet they happened and in which cycle they happened. Okay, in which yoga they happened. All those things we cannot track. But the important thing is because in Vedic tradition, uh, especially when it comes to learning, they didn't give prominence for calculating the time periods, but importance is given to understand the message, what that incident teaches us. Okay, it's not so important because, for example, scientists, for example, they are very busy in analyzing everything, right? For example, a rose, a scientist will analyze a rose. Okay, how this fragrance is coming, no, what color is it in, and there is something called as Fibonacci series, whereby no nature has a symmetry actually when it arranges everything. So you can see a beautiful symmetry when you see a rose flower, right? So they will analyze like which species it does it belongs to. There are various families like Solanaceae, so many things are from biology background you can understand. So which species it is, how the chemical reaction is happening inside. So all those things they analyze. Okay, but what is the utility of rose? No, you can smell it and you can offer it to Lord Krishna. No, in the same way, what is important here? So one may make a big research, for example, no? For example, one person he did PhD on milk actually. No, before coming to know whether that milk is drinkable or not, uh, they have analyzed like how many species, because only mammals they give milk, right? Amphibians and all, they don't give any milk. So mammals they give milk. So how many kinds of mammals they give milk? No, he started doing research. How many kinds of mammals they give milk, and what kind of milk is edible for human beings? Okay, then again there will be a subcategory, because some kinds of milk human beings know that they're not meant for human consumption actually. So once that is done, okay, subcategory, okay. Then again, if you take cow, how many types of cows are there? And how many types of milks are there? H1 milk, H2 milk, there are so much analysis is there. Okay, and what are the uh, various items which can be done by using milk? So this makes a very big research, for example. This may make this much of thesis. Okay, but the point is, a person does a lot of research, but in his lifetime he never drinks milk. Is there any use of it? What do you say? Maybe he has spent some 10 years or 15 years or 20 years of his life on just researching what is milk. But he himself never tasted the milk. Do you think it makes sense? No. People in village, many farmers, they may not be knowing what is the chemical composition of milk, right? And how many types of milk are there. They may not be knowing anything, but every day they enjoy milk. Getting my point? The same way, when you try to analyze the Puranic time period, you'll be confused actually. It doesn't have an end. But any sane or intelligent person, they should take the essence. It is said that Saragrahi, no, it should be a Saragrahi. No, especially the human life is meant to take the essence actually. So we have to take the essence of everything. So Puranas are there. So there is a Purana called Padma Purana. In Padma Purana, it is very clearly explained that there are 84 lakh species of living entities. Okay, 84 lakhs of species. Not only giving the number as 84 lakhs, but the subcategories are also given. It is explained that there are 9 lakhs of aquatics. Okay, Jalaja Navalakshani is explained in Sanskrit. Jalaja means Jala means water, Ja means born out of water. Those species which are born out of water, they are 9 lakhs. Jalaja Navalakshani, Sthavarani Lakshavimshati. Sthavarani means immovables. Okay, they don't move, like plants, trees, and mountains and hills. They are also counted among living entities. Many of them will be surprised. Oh, hills and mountains, they also have life. Yes, Shastra says that they also have life, and they also increase in size as the time passes on. Right? Because earlier they used to think even plants are dull matter. Right? Jagdish Chandra Bose, he came up with a research. But it is not something new to Vedic culture. In India, in Vedic culture, we always know that plants have life, trees have life, and mountains have life. But by scientific research, only maybe some 100 years back, they came to know that plants have life. And still, they are yet to discover that mountains also have life. But we get this complete knowledge from Vedic scriptures. Okay, because we have taken shelter of Vedic scriptures, we have nothing to waste our time in doing research again. So we know from Vedic scriptures that mountains and hills also have life. So these are categorized under Sthavarani. Sthavara means which is just settled in a place. That's all. It doesn't move. There are 20 lakh species of Sthavaras. Okay, Jalaja Navalakshani, Sthavarani Lakshavimshati, Krimayo Rudra Sankyakaha. Krimi means right? Insects. They are of Rudra. Rudra means 11 lakh species of insects are there. Krimayo Rudra Sankyakaha. Okay. And Trimsal Lakshani Pashavaha. Trimsal Lakshani Pashavaha. Before Pashus, there are Pakshinam Dashalakshanam. Dashalakshana means 10 lakh. Now 10 lakh varieties of birds are there which can fly. And Pashunam and Trimsal Lakshani Pashavaha. And animals are of 30 lakhs varieties. Chatur Lakshani Manavaha. And human beings are of 4 lakh varieties. See, the Pakka calculation is given 84 lakh species. But these 84 lakh species, they are spread throughout the Brahmanda. Okay, not only on this earth. Of course, again, this is a big thing because scientific world, they say, of course, there are so many universes, but life is only on earth, they say. This is a foolish proposition actually. To say that life is there only on earth and there is no life somewhere else. But slowly nowadays some new researches they are going on, but still they are far in understanding actually. But Vedic scripture says life is there everywhere. Okay, but we are in a conditioned world. You know what is conditioned life? Conditioned life means we are conditioned by time, place, and circumstances. We are all conditioned. No, for example, a frog is conditioned to a well. It cannot cross the well, right? So frog is conditioned to a well. So a frog cannot have information about the living entities which are outside the well. Yes or no? What do you think? If you ask a frog, what is the radius of universe? No, maybe the well diameter is some 3 feet or maybe 6 feet something. So when it just watches the sky, it can see only some 6 feet radius sky will be visible. So it may conclude that okay, sky is of the whole universe is of 6 feet radius. But is it true? No, because it is conditioned like that. It cannot get information beyond that. In the same way, even though human beings are very intelligent, we are also conditioned, right? We cannot get information which is beyond our capacity, beyond our conditioning. We cannot. For example, we cannot cross the borders of India, right? There is a process which you require to cross the borders of India. You need to take first of all you should have a passport and you should take a visa. Then you will get a permission. So there is a procedure to expand our knowledge actually, right? So these 84 lakh species are not present just on earth, but these are distributed throughout the Brahmanda, and the Brahmanda contains 14 planetary systems. Okay, we are now in the middle planetary system. Madhya Loka they say. Urdhva, Madhya and Adho Lokas is there. Urdhva means upper planetary systems. Okay, Madhya means middle planetary systems, which we are in now. Okay, and the Adho means the lower planetary systems. There are total 14 planetary systems in this Brahmanda, which we are residing in. So these 84 lakh species are spread throughout the Brahmanda. Okay, so this is the calculation. And now, if you see the 84 lakh species, there is an evolution of soul. We know, we read in our student life about the evolution of body, which is proposed by Charles Darwin, right? So many of you know about Charles Darwin, right? So many of us, we don't know many acharyas, but we know Charles Darwin because these are modern acharyas actually. If I say Madhvacharya, how many of you know Madhvacharya? How many of you heard the name Madhvacharya? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, that's all. So how many of you know Charles Darwin? How many of you heard about Charles Darwin? Yeah, these are all modern acharyas. Okay, but this Charles Darwin, whatever his proposal, I mean this theory of evolution, okay, it's not proved actually, it's a theory for your information, because many of us think that whatever is given in our syllabus, in our curriculum, we may think that it is absolute truth, because thanks to the British system, now we are so much conditioned that whatever is given by a scientist, for example, if we say Bhagavan Uvacha means people, they won't take it seriously. But if you say Einstein Uvacha, for example, or Darwin Uvacha, Immediately, oh, it's very, very important, something very crucial for our life, we think. So this theory of evolution, Darwin Uvacha, but it's a theory, but it's not proved. So that's why in many education systems they have started removing this Darwin theory because it's not proved. It's a theory. What is that? Ah, okay. It is proved that it is wrong. But still, there are some countries which are sentimentally attached to this Darwin theory, like India. We are so much sentimentally attached to this Darwin theory. And of course, the whole modern perception of life, no, the whole modern way of living, you may not be knowing, but it is based on Darwin's theory of evolution. No, all our systems, the the way the government functions, the way the scientific research is heading through, for everything, this Darwin's theory of evolution, Darwin's theory of material evolution, this is the base actually. But there is a theory of evolution mentioned in the Shastras also, but this is evolution of soul, not the evolution of body. Okay, so in Vedic scriptures, this evolution of soul is mentioned, and the soul evolves through 84 lakhs of species. Please try to understand. Now we are in human life, and human life is very rare because you just compare with the other life forms. How many varieties of aquatics are there? I just mentioned 9 lakhs. So humans are only 4 lakhs. And Sthavarani, 20 lakhs. Plants, trees, 20 lakhs. Where it is 20 lakhs and where 4 lakhs. And insects, 11 lakhs. And we are 4 lakhs. And birds, 10 lakhs. And again we are 4 lakhs. And 30 lakhs of animals. And again we are 4 lakhs. See. So human life is very rarely attained. No? Human life is very rarely attained, and human life is the epitome of this soul's evolution. That means, after passing through the bodies of aquatics, after passing through the bodies of plants, trees, and after passing through the bodies of insects, animals, and birds, now we have attained this rare human form of life, which is very rare. No, you just calculate. You know the system of numerator and denominator fractions, right? You just calculate how many mosquitoes are there in Gachibowli. Is it possible to calculate? No. You just keep the figure of number of insects in Gachibowli and number of people in Gachibowli. So then you will understand. Just by comparing with maybe I think the population of India is 130 crores, right? Now, I think 130 crores of mosquitoes will be there in Hyderabad itself. Yes or no? Then you just imagine what would be the number of mosquitoes throughout India. You cannot imagine it, right? So please understand that human life is very rare. Human life is very rare, and human life is gifted with higher intelligence. Okay, higher intelligence. Higher intelligence is a higher facility, for example. For example, you take a prime minister of a country. You just compare the facilities which can be enjoyable by a normal, ordinary citizen of the country, and what kind of facilities are enjoyable by the prime minister of a country or a head of a country. So, who is having more facilities? Who is having more facilities? Prime minister or president. In some countries there will be king or something like that. So why he is given more facilities? What is the reason? For example, if it is known that prime minister is going to come to Hyderabad, is going to visit Hyderabad, immediately they will stop all the roads, right? They will have alternative traffic arrangements. So much things will be there. And prime minister, he will be having his own personal aircraft. No, his personal residence will be there everywhere. So many facilities are there. Why these facilities are given to prime minister, and why don't we have those facilities? What is the reason? Because the prime minister, that post is very important. How it is important? What is the exact word? Exactly. So higher responsibilities will be given, higher facilities. You understand it or not? We accept it or not? Why we have a something called as VIP, very important person. VIP treatment will be given, right? Why it is so? Because they have more responsibilities. Because we may be working in a company, okay, I'm not responsible for anything, I'm just responsible for my company. And also maybe not the whole company, maybe your group leader, whoever it is. He'll be assigning you some job, you will complete it. Your responsibility is only up to that. You don't have anything to do with the loss and profit of the company. You just bother about whatever duty I am assigned, I am just doing it and I am getting my salary. That's all. So your responsibility is very limited. But if you take a responsibility of a public servant means any other minister, chief minister and all, they are responsible for the whole state. Yes or no? For example, what is the population of Telangana? 4 crores or 5 crores, something like that. So the chief minister is responsible for 5 crores of Telangana people, right? So obviously he is given higher facilities. In the same way, why in human life we have higher facilities? Because we are having higher responsibilities. Please try to understand. So the superior intelligence of human being is a facility. Do you accept it or not? Right? We are given higher intelligence, right? We will speak later about how you are using that intelligence given to us. But the thing is, everyone accepts that human being is awarded with superior intelligence. Right? Why we are given superior intelligence? Because when superior intelligence is a superior facility, the superior facility is given because we have a superior responsibility, which is absent in the other life forms. Okay, we have one unique responsibility which is absent in aquatics, which is absent in plants, trees, and which is absent in insects, animals, and birds. That responsibility is explained in Vedanta Sutras as Adhato Brahma Jignasa. It is explained. In Sanskrit, Adhato means therefore. Therefore, you should be inquisitive of the Supreme. That's what it is explained. So why human being is awarded with higher intelligence? Because we have a great responsibility to find answers for the questions of life and death. Right? For example, you see a butcher shop. In Hyderabad, you see so many butcher shops will be there. Sometimes we see, many times the dead bodies are hanged right in front of the shop. And there will be some 4 or 5 other goats, which are tied there somewhere. So goats will be tied there and they will be given some grass. But these goats, they see that, okay, next it is our turn. We are also destined to be hanged like that, right? They know that they are going to be killed. But these goats, they don't bother about life and death. They are just bother about whether I got grass to eat or not. You see, for example, it's practical thing. They just eat some grass. Sometimes we see if there is any she goat and he goat, then meanwhile they may engage in sexual activity also. See, but you are going to die. That means that doesn't have any sense. Or for example, you take a chicken shop, for example. Same thing, same scene you can see there. No, so many dead chickens are hanged, right? They say like dressed and undressed, something, this technical word. Undressed, whatever is hanged, they call it as undressed. So they hang here and they have a buffer in the back of their chicken shop. There we find so many chickens very busy in eating and mating there. So that means they doesn't have the sense of life and death. Right? But if the same happens with human beings, what do you think? The same happens with human beings, and if there is any clue that whoever is going inside, they are getting killed, what will we do? Tell me. We will try to escape, right? Somehow or other, even at the cost of breaking one leg or breaking one hand, we will try to escape from that. That means human being has the consciousness of life and death. Right? Only human being has this. So a human being is having the higher responsibility. So we have to question about all these things. Why we are? Because no one likes to die actually, and no one likes to become old, and no one likes to be diseased, right? And many of them hate their current birth also. Why I took many? They see so many people prospering in the society. Some are very happy, some are in very well established, their life, financially or sociologically and all. But we see so much variety actually. There are so many disparities in our society. Poor, rich, ugly, no, very beautiful, handsome, all these things are there. Why so many disparities? So, because human being, because in the society of human being there is higher intelligence, that's why we have so many social movements in human society. For example, there is something called as communism, socialism, capitalism, secularism. Yes or no? Do you find communism or capitalism in the animal society? For example, we know that we see so many cows are roaming on the roads, or so many goats are there, so many hens are there. There also we find so many disparities. No, some hen's leg is broken, some hen is looking very beautiful and fat. But do you see that all the downtrodden, so-called downtrodden hens having a social movement of communism there? No, the hen doesn't demand that no, the feed should be distributed equally. Are there any movements like that in poultry farms and all? No. But in human society, we find so many socio-political movements going on. Because man has the capacity to think. He is given the faculty to think. So he tries to analyze everything. Why I am poor? That question is there. Right? Why I am poor? Why he is rich? Why he is prospering and why I am like this? No? Why I am suffering in life? These questions are there. So in order to get a solution, because they are unable to get a proper solution and the real solution, they come up with some social movements. That's how this communism came, socialism came, or whatever you can term. Right? So that means human beings think about, so they have this jignasa, they want to know the reason behind everything. Why does it happen like that? Right? They question everything. Of course, this questioning faculty is also there in the other life forms. But the thing is, they can question or they can inquire only about eating, sleeping, mating, and defending. For example, early in the morning, I don't think here you can hear the chirping of birds. Can you hear? No. Sometimes. Or maybe someone is having some ringtone like that, alarm bell. Huh? Chirping of some parrots and sparrows kind of thing. But generally, you may not be able to see that. Right? So every morning we see in the countryside, birds are very busy speaking among themselves. We may think, oh, it's very enjoyable. The sound is very good, no? So hot and nice. But actually, they are discussing about where to go, where do we find food. Right? They are busy with that. So even if in the 84 lakh species, except the human form of life, all the other 80 lakh species of life, they are also having the inquiry facility, but it is limited to just inquiring where food is available. Where can we sleep? Once you took food, okay, now I have to sleep somewhere, take rest. When both food, roti and makhan, both are satisfied, then about sex. They search where is male bird, where is female bird. Once that is also done, then they start fighting among themselves. This is my territory, that is your territory. You see, night time we see so many dogs barking here and there. There is a leader of dogs for every street actually. No, night time they they show their power there. They show their ego. They don't allow the other street dog to come here like that. So there, that is limited there. But they don't question beyond that. But we human beings has the capacity to question all those things. Right? So why? Because we have to question everything as a human being. The tendency is there, especially when we are very young. Children, they tend to question so many things actually. Sometimes parents, they become angry. Why this fellow is always questioning? No, but that questioning is the symptom of intelligence. It is said. The question is a symptom of intelligence, right? But not only questioning, in human form of life, you can get also permanent solutions for all these problems. There is a solution, there is a permanent solution for birth, death, old age and disease. But first we have to understand that birth, death, old age and disease, these are our real problems we have to understand. No? So there are these questions. Who am I, first of all? We have to question, who am I? Huh? So what is the purpose of this creation? Who am I and what is the purpose of creation? Why am I suffering? Any sane human being can understand that he is suffering. Right? Anyone can understand that he is suffering. The next question is, how to get out of this suffering? And who is in control of all this creation? So these are the most important 5 questions in human life we have to ask, and we can also get answers also. Not only just asking, but we can get answers. But to get answers, we need a proper direction for that. We should know where to get answers for these questions. Right? So human being, he should ask in his lifetime these 5 questions. Who am I? And what is the purpose of this creation? Why I am suffering? How to come out of this suffering? And who is in control of all these things? For example, we say prapancha, right? This word is there in all Indian languages as far as I know. Prapancha we say, right? And this is a combination of 2 words in Sanskrit, pra and pancha. Pra means prakrishta rupena, it is said. Pra means like giving emphasis on that. And pancha means? Pancha means 5. So prapancha means this world is made up of 5 things. Many of them they don't know, they say prapancha. Prapancha means, okay then, fine. So prapancham, antam kada. So prapancha means it is made up of 5 things. What are those 5 things? Can anyone tell me what are the 5 things? See, we should know this very important thing, because we are living in the world made up of these 5 things. We should know what are these 5 things. The 5 things are, first thing, soul, means the living entity. Okay, and the second one is the controller, Ishvara. Jiva, and the second one, Ishvara, the controller. Okay, and third is Kala, means time. Okay, and fourth one, see, first of all, we should know who we are. That is the first thing. It's a living entity. And the next thing is Prakriti, the nature. Because as I told you, we are a combination of, we means in our current condition, we are a combination of the material body and the soul. So there are 2 things here. The first thing is the spirit, and the second one is the dull matter or the material energy. The third one is the controller of the both. The controller of both the soul and the material nature. Who is that controller? That is the third one. Fourth one is activity. We all do some activity, right? And the fifth one is Kala, the time. So the world means, see, that's why this Sanskrit knowledge is very important actually. Many of the, mostly the Indian languages are, they emanated from Sanskrit. So we have these words commonly in all the languages. So how important it is, because maybe a person who belongs to India, he may get a doubt in his lifetime. Oh, what we say, prapancha, what is prapancha? But if you say world, he may not get that question at any time. Yes or no? Because English doesn't have any logic how the words are formed. No? It is our most misfortune that we have to speak and we have to communicate in English, because that's how the world is going on now. Yes? But how beautiful this Sanskrit language and the languages evolved from the Sanskrit, no? So prapancha means this world is made up of these 5 things, and we are living in this world. So because we are human beings and we are gifted with this higher intelligence, we should know what are these 5 things and how they are working. Right? Does it make any sense or not? Does it make any sense? Because we are day to day, we are dealing with all these 5 things, right? And we are one among the 5 things. Not that these 5 things are separate from us, but we are one among the 5 things. And the body is the second thing among the 5 things. And we all do some kind of activity. And we are all regulated by Kala, time. And we are being controlled. Any sane human being can understand that we are not the controllers, but we are being controlled. So these 5 things are there. Right? Jiva, Prakriti, Ishvara, Kala and Karma. But see how ignorant we are, that we don't bother what is going on. So that's where Bhagavad Gita comes into picture. So Bhagavad Gita discusses about these 5 things which are very crucial for our existence. No, if at all we have to attain some knowledge in human form of life, that should be started with Bhagavad Gita, learning Bhagavad Gita. But where that education is there? Can you tell me where such kind of education institutions are there where Bhagavad Gita is being taught? So we are being put into ignorance. See, we're purposefully being put into ignorance, right? So because all these corporate companies, all these business entities, they want manpower to work for their companies. No, it's like a pyramid. You take a pyramid. So at the base of pyramid, there are so many people, right? As it goes to one point. So there will be one person sitting above that pyramid. For the sense gratification of this one person who is sitting above this pyramid, so many people will be put into ignorance purposefully. You know how the curriculums are designed? You know how these curriculums are designed? What is the base of designing these curriculums? Needs of the industry. Industry needs labor, right? So purposefully they don't want anyone to be highly intelligent. So purposefully they will put such kind of things into the curriculum that a man becomes a machine. That's all. Just work, that's all. No, he is never allowed to use his intelligence. Otherwise, Bhagavad Gita is a real knowledge. In 13th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, there is a description of what is knowledge and what is ignorance. No? So, because we have attained this rare human form of life, we should learn Bhagavad Gita. Then you will understand what is real life and what is real happiness. No? But what happens whenever there is dharmasya glani, it is explained. No? Whenever, because the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Lord Krishna, he is the creator, he is the controller. Okay, so he created this world and he has given a manual called Bhagavad Gita, by following which you can lead a very happy life. So the rulers or the administrative class, called as Kshatriyas, they are entrusted with this responsibility that they should see to that all their subjects who are being ruled, they are trained in this Bhagavad Gita. They are trained in the spiritual knowledge. That is the primary responsibility of a king or a ruler or an administrator, is that he should see that all his subjects, no, whom he is ruling, they should be well versed in this spiritual knowledge. But what happens when these administrators, when these rulers, when these politicians, they become sense gratifiers, okay, and they misutilize the power given to them, they start exploiting their subjects. Then the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Lord Krishna, he comes himself sometimes based on the severity of the dharmasya glani. Sometimes he sends his representatives. No, sometimes he sends his message. His servants will be coming. Okay, they come and they give the knowledge. So in the same way, in this chapter we are discussing about Lord Kapila, right? So Lord Kapila is an incarnation of Krishna. Okay, so Lord Kapila, he came purposefully to explain the science called Sanka system of learning. Okay, Sanka is one way of learning. Sanka means, what is Sanka? Analysis, analytical study. You say Sankhya means numbers, right? We say Sanketika. Sanketika means technical, right? Whatever involves with numbers, that is called as technical. Of course, they are translated in a different way. No? Sanketika, actually Sanketika, technology is not the right translation of Sanketika. Maybe that's something related to machines. Technology is related to machines. No? So whatever this software engineering, whatever you are doing, where you are using these numbers, may be called as Sanketika actually. So he comes and he gives an analytical knowledge, what is what is not, everything, because people are very fond of analyzing everything. So as a responsible human being, you should analyze everything. Animals, they cannot analyze anything. Can they analyze anything? No. They just see, for example, if you see cows, they're concerned about analyzing what is my food and what is not my food. Sir, no. So they smell everything. Their means of attaining knowledge is through smelling, right? Cows smell everything. The same way, different living entities have various capacities, but they just use it for only eating, sleeping, mating, and defending. That's all, right? But human being is, as I said, he's given higher faculties. So we have to analyze our human life. First of all, we have to analyze how this human life is very valuable. So that we tried in a humble way in this class to explain that the human life is very rarely attained and it's very important. Now this is also a part of analytical study, right? So once we understand why human life is very rare and how important it is, then we have to analyze the other things, like whether human life is full of miseries or whether this world is full of happiness. We have to analyze so many things, right? So that is the basic information regarding this Sankhya philosophy, right? So Lord Krishna, he incarnated in the form of Lord Kapila to expound the science of Sankhya. Okay, so we'll stop here and we'll take some questions. Yes,
As I said, Lord
you can speak in the mic so that everyone can hear.
Krishna, as you said,
Hmm.
Lord Krishna being himself gave the Kapila.
Yes.
Whether it happened in this Kalika or it happened in India, or it happened on this planet or
Hmm. So regarding Lord Kapila, it didn't happen in this Kali Yuga. Okay. Uh, the advent of Lord Kapila, it happened in previous ages, maybe in Satya Yuga, again, because the sequence of events, if you see in Srimad Bhagavatam, Lord Brahma, like Kardama Muni, is son of Lord Brahma. Okay, so Lord Brahma, he instructs Kardama to increase the population because they are all called as Prajapatis. No, when this creation comes into existence, it's explained in Bhagavad Gita, Bhutva Bhutva Praliyate, as there are seasons, no, summer, rainy season, and winter. This is a cycle. So same way the creation comes into existence, it will be maintained for some time, and again it is annihilated, and it enters into the navel of Vishnu, Mahavishnu, and again it comes out. So then the foremost living entity, Brahma, comes out from the no this navel of Lord Vishnu from a lotus. Then his duty is sub-creation. Primary creation is done by Vishnu and sub-creation is done by Brahma. So what Brahma does, he begets some children, Manasa Putras. Not Brahma doesn't beget children like ordinary male and female. No, just by his willing, just by thinking, just by his thinking, Brahma can give birth to many exalted personalities. They are all exalted personalities. Not that they take birth like ordinary children and they cry for some time and then maybe playing for 10 years and after getting education for 20 years they become mature. No, they are all Manasa Putras. No, they take birth from the mind of Brahma, and by birth itself they don't take birth like a naked child. No, they are like matured people. So he assigned that responsibility to Kardama and also other sons to fill all the planets with deserving living entities, because each and every loka, uh, different kinds of living entities, they are populated there because they deserve to live there. So Kardama is assigned that job. So Kardama, he did great penance, then Lord Vishnu appears before him, and he gets a boon that he will take birth as a child of Kardama. So in that way, Kapila Muni, he incarnated. So this happened in the beginning of the 4 yugas. I mean, in Satya Yuga.
In this Manvantara or any previous.
That is not. See now. Yeah, this is also a good question. You know which Manvantara is going on now? Vaivashvata Manvantara is going on now. Okay.
Maybe it is half of.
Yes, yes. It is like he is like 7th or 8th Manu going on now. So this happened in Swayambhuva Manvantara. Swayambhuva is the first Manu. Okay. So it happened in the beginning of creation.
That is very close of years.
Yeah.
But as when I was preparing for government exams, I used to read history.
Mm.
There it is mentioned that 6 schools of philosophy like Nyaya, Vaiseshika, Uttara, everything happened like 1000 years before.
No, that is just nonsense. All this government, no, whatever historians they calculate, it is completely biased picture because they don't understand.
And at last they will say that British civilization is the supreme civilization.
Yeah. Which is very superior civilization now that Indians are ruling Britain. You know that the population of Britons are very less now. Very soon they are becoming endangered. Already their country is filled with people from all.
And also, Muslims population is becoming more.
Yeah, all those things are there. Any other questions? Please.
Sometimes I feel like we're not making our choices, but probably we have a little control or probably control. Most of it is like it happens. Sometimes it feels random, but sometimes it feels like somebody has designed it in certain way, so that it happens exactly in certain way. So that's my question. Like, do we have any free will at all, or if at all, if we have any, like, in which parts do we have? And we don't have any free will, then this thing, those choices are not enough.
Yeah. So, yeah.
In fourth session we will
Okay. So anyway, we are going to have sessions regarding that. We will discuss. But because you asked this question, I just tell you, we have free will, but that doesn't mean that we are independent. We are being controlled in every aspect of our life, and at the same time, we have a very minute free will. And the details we will discuss later. Any other questions regarding our discussion in today's class? Or we can wind up the session now. ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवतम की जय, जगत गुरु श्री प्रभुपाद की जय।